Times now. I'm Pratibha Chandran. Let's get you the big updates from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has said that it will monitor the NEET matter. In fact, it has said that it will be monitoring the issue for some time now. In fact, the Supreme Court has also pulled up the NDA and has asked a few questions, including why are these leaks reoccurring, that it has happened multiple times. In fact, the Supreme Court also came down heavily asking, where is the foolproof system that you promised? And that the recommendations appear to have failed. In the Supreme Court, the top court also asking that for accountability, saying which individual is responsible, because accountability needs to be fixed. The Supreme Court has also asked the details of the person responsible for this mess. So in the Supreme Court has in fact questioned why there have been multiple leaks and where the accountability actually lies. Let's take this across to legal editor Harish Nair, getting us the details. Harish, the Supreme Court came down heavily. This is after a lot of outrage as well over the NEET paper leaks. Take us through what happened in the top court.
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. In fact, the Supreme Court pulling up the NTA today and also the center and asking why, despite you claiming that recommendations are being implemented, why this leak is recurring. It happened in 2024, it happened even now this year, and said that, remember, this is not only involving children, but also the parents. A lot of investment, they have done so much emotions, and also years and years of preparation, and today has sought a detailed affidavit as from the center, the HRD and Health Ministry as to what steps they have taken to implement the Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee recommendations. And for the benefit of our viewers, let me read out some observations from the bench. It's the court said it is not beyond us. What is happening is something traumatic for candidates, parents. Imagine about children who invested so much emotion is involved, years and years of preparation. And another remark is that the real problem won't stop till actual accountability arises, not in terms of so it will be liable, it will be effective when we know which individual shoulders the responsibility lies. Pratibha, we are joined by lawyers who appeared for two organizations. First we go to Advocate Charu Mathur. Ma'am, today what happened in the court? What are the observations of the court?
So court was very, very traumatized by the fact that the students are undergoing the trauma, not only the students, but their parents, their entire ecosystem in which they are part of. And then the learned Solicitor General appeared and he apprised the court that the Prime Minister is personally monitoring this matter. He is aware that such kind of leaks doesn't happen. At one point of a time, we are trying to have increased so many medical seats, but if such types of leaks happen, they show us in a very poor condition. So court said that you need to fix an accountability on some person. Mr. K. Radhakrishnan appeared, the chairperson of the monitoring committee, and he apprised. The most shocking thing that has come out was NTA functions with only 25 odd people, and they are conducting exams for almost 22 lakhs of people only for the NEET examination.
So we are also joined by Satyam Singh Rajput, who appeared for another petitioner. Mr. Rajput, what was the final order of the court? In fact, the court has sought a detailed affidavit from the NTA and the center.
Court also directed SG to file a counter affidavit on behalf of Union of India, and also mentioned that the court will monitor this case for some time just to check the transparency. Court also apprised the fact that there are 22 lakh students who are suffering, not even the student, but along with them, parents are also suffering in this matter. So next date of in this matter is July, and court will monitor this matter in meanwhile.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking to Times Now. So this was two lawyers who had appeared for two key petitioners, Federation of All India Doctors Association and also United Doctors Front. And for the benefit of our viewers, Pratibha, let me also read out some other portions of the very key observations. Supreme Court said we need to understand which individual is responsible. Accountability has to be fixed and responsibility be fixed on someone's shoulders. And the court also going on to say that we have heard head of committee Dr. Radhakrishnan. In fact, the court asked Dr. Radhakrishnan, who headed the committee, that why despite your recommendations like computer-based test, number 2, sending the questions in a digital form and with an encrypted link, and publishing question papers and distributing at the last hour. Such recommendations, why they are not being implemented, and if they are being implemented, why such leaks are happening. And Supreme Court has said that there is no doubt that we will monitor this situation, monitor the conduct of NEET exams for some years now, because the government and the NTA has not succeeded in ensuring a foolproof and tamper-free examination. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Harish, stay with us. Bhavtosh Singh also joins us on the broadcast. And Bhavtosh, the Supreme Court also asked, how is it that despite mechanism in place, there was a complete mess, or there was a paper leak yet again? And the Supreme Court has also said that it will be monitoring the situation. It will be monitoring the NEET matter for some time now. But are there any recommendations that have been made from the top court?
Well, the court has asked that accountability needs to be fixed, and this is not the first time, Pratibha, that examination paper leak has happened. It happened in 2024. At that point of time, CBI said that the leak of the examination paper is localized and thus virtually allowing everyone to go scot-free, and 49 individuals were charge-sheeted. But this time around, what CBI has said is that those who are on the examination panel, they are responsible for the examination paper leak. What is most disturbing is the fact that the accused in this case, the coaching owner, as well as those in the examination paper panel, they had the access to the question paper on 23rd of April. That is around 10 days before the examination paper happened. And one of the viral videos that CBI has accessed, the owner of the coaching institute actually was boasting before the students on 3rd of May that, look, you had the question paper and it is virtually similar to the question paper that you gave. Now, they also destroyed all the question paper. CBI has managed to, in fact, trace the money that they received. Now, there are individuals who have a common link with those who have been arrested. The investigation in this case continues. The director of CBI and other senior officials have appeared before the panel, before the parliamentary panel. Importantly, the charge sheet in this case is expected to be filed next week. CBI has said they would be charge sheeting at least 5 to 6 individuals in this case. 13 individuals have been arrested. CBI has said, the Supreme Court has said that accountability needs to be fixed. It's not that you file charge sheet against 4 or 5, but accountability needs to be fixed as far as this time around is concerned. NTA has been taking this exam for a long time, but the very fact that leakage is happening in 2024, again in 2026, there is something wrong with the system. Yesterday, the defense minister held a meeting. There are reports that defense services will be roped in. It could be possible that the examination papers could be flown at examination center by Indian Air Force. This clearly shows that there is a rot in the system, and that's the reason why the paper leaks are happening. And the very fact that government is admitting its mistake, they are apologizing before the students, clearly shows that something is wrong with the system. Supreme Court also noticed that students are investing a lot, both in terms of monetary as well as emotionally, and the fact that everyone is apologizing is enough, but the fact is that students have to again take the exam on 21st of June. This would emotionally drain them out.
Okay, all right. Bhavtosh and Harish, do stay with us. Let's also get our viewers a quick look at what we've been speaking about and what happened in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court asked, why are these leaks reoccurring? In fact, it went on to ask where the foolproof system is that was promised. Because remember, previously, the NTA had said that there will be a foolproof system. So the Supreme Court asking, where is this foolproof system that you spoke about? And that the recommendations that were made clearly appeared to have failed. Also asking to fix accountability, going on to say which individual is responsible. The top court asking who is responsible for this entire mess and saying that accountability needs to be fixed. The Supreme Court also asked for details of the person who is responsible for this. We have more breaking updates now coming in on the broadcast. Sources say that members asked the NTA officials about the statement given in the Rajya Sabha in November 2024 by the Education Ministry about the conduct of examination by the NTA, in which the ministry had stated that the CBI was conducting comprehensive probe into the alleged irregularities. The CBI is also probing the 2026 NEET exam case. Now, the parliamentary panel meeting members have also emphasized ensuring the sanctity of the examinations. My colleague Mohit Bhatt joins us. Mohit, what are the details?
Well, in fact, Pratibha, now we need to break this down. This was a parliamentary committee on government assurances that called in the NTA chief and the other members from the Ministry of Education were also being called. The CBI director was being called. Now, the prime focus of this particular meeting was about the 2024 CBI 2024 NEET leak case, that because in these kind of parliamentary committee meetings you have certain issues that if the proper reply is not being given on that, then the process continues. So basic premise was about 2024, but the 2026 NEET UG leak case was also on the focus. Now the CBI, according to the sources, have told the parliamentary panel that we have arrested around 13 individuals as of now, and we will ensure that we will be going down to the root of this particular case. We will arrest everybody who is involved in this. And also regarding the 2026 UG NEET leak, the NTA chief has also given a detailed presentation. And also what we are being told by the sources is that the NTA chief has clearly told via a presentation that this time around it will be a foolproof examination, and they are working 24/7. Prime Minister is also monitoring the situation, and what we are also being told is that the CBI clearly stated that we are pursuing this case very seriously, because this was the first time when a parliamentary panel had called in the CBI director to seek details about this particular case. So the meeting has happened, and we also know for a fact that how the members of this particular panel have clearly told the NTA director or the officials from Ministry of Education that you need to ensure that the counseling takes place on the time. We do not want students to suffer. So these are the details that are pouring in, that the NTA chief has also given a representation in front of the members. Specific questions were asked about the leak, but the NTA chief said that whatever has happened, but this time around he gave a presentation on what exactly is the full-fledged work that NTA is doing on the ground. And also the NTA Director General is also lent to give a detailed presentation on steps being taken to strengthen the exam system. And also the officials from the CBI have briefed the members about what exactly are the steps that are being taken, how many arrests have taken place, and they have assured that they will go to the root of this particular case. So the important parliamentary panel meeting has just finished. All the top officials from the NTA were part of this particular meeting, and CBI director was also part of this particular meeting in the parliament. Back to you.
Okay, all right. And Mohit, this also comes at a time when the government is also facing some heat in the Supreme Court as well. The top court has also pulled up the NTA and has also asked, how is it that this was allowed? How is it that these paper leaks are recurring? Going on to say that there was a foolproof system that had been promised, but that has clearly not happened, that it is not a foolproof system that's in place because these recommendations have failed. So the Supreme Court has also pulled up asking who is responsible? Where is the accountability for this?
Well, yes, in fact, Pratibha, the accountability has to be fixed. Now, not two, but many of the students, they have come out, and it's a future of these students, thousands and lakhs of students, which is at the stake. And we have seen that how exactly the politics is being played on this particular issue. But when the Supreme Court clearly says that you need to take the responsibility, it's not about the politics. We will see politics being played on this particular issue. We will see that the BJP will attack the Congress and the opposition. The Congress and the opposition will attack the government. But in the end, it's about the future of all the students, and perhaps that is why strong statements have come in from the Supreme Court, and somebody has to own up the responsibility. And perhaps that is why the statement, the observation, the order that has come from the Supreme Court is very, very important, because it's not about politics. It's about the future of all those students. And we have seen that how students are very distressed, and if students are distressed, their families also get distressed, and hence there has to be a foolproof exam that needs to take place. But then before that, you need to go to the root of this particular cause, and that is why Supreme Court has made very strong observations while they were hearing this particular case. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us with all those details, Mohit. With